Happy Thursday. It's so beautiful out today. I hope that everybody gets the chance to go out and enjoy some part of today. Just take in nature, see the beauty in life. I know being out in the outside is like everything for me. Everything, watching the birds, the water, that is my peace. So I definitely went out there. Yesterday went better than I thought it would, especially for a first time. So here's for a second time. But I want to talk about my beginning and being humbled in the beginning because I was not as humble as I am now. I actually thought I was humbled and a humble person, and then I realized that maybe I'm not that humble, right? Because there were things that I was too proud to do, or things that I felt like, no, I'm not going to do that. Or fear what people think when you do that. But God will humble you. Like James 4:6 says that God opposes the proud, but gives to the humble. Don't let the proud be what stops you, and your pride be what stops you from experiencing your blessings, because it definitely got in my way for a long time. In the beginning, I would always be told, is this your flesh? Or is this something you feel propelled, or your intuition saying you should do such and such, or you should do this? And for me, I was always kind of religious in a sense, but not really, and not very spiritual at all, that I thought anyway. So when people will say, is that your flesh? And I'm like, I don't know. How do I know if it's my flesh? No, it's just what I think. It's what I feel like I should be doing. I realize that people don't tell you what that really means. And I ask so many times, like, what do you mean by flesh? Or trying to comprehend what that means. Is it my flesh that is propelling me to do something? Or is it my intuition? But I'll get further into that with search and rescue, because that is really where I had to learn the difference in between what my flesh was calling me to do and what my intuition was telling me to do. So, like I said, prior to this, I was not very religious. But God started to come into my life and move in different ways that I acknowledged and that I seen him. And I see that people say they chose, or at this time they chose. And I actually feel kind of indifferent about that, because I feel like God chose me at this time. And it had to be at these moments where I experienced certain losses, certain lows, for me to see the miracles and everything that he was capable of doing in my life. So when I first began to do more in our community, to feed the homeless, to be the voice for the voiceless, to be an advocate, to stand up for kids, to search for missing kids, to stand in the gap, to really just be the change that I wanted to see in the world, I started experiencing losses. And when I say loss after loss after loss, I started this with the ring. Engaged, excited, making wedding plans, and through the past year, it got to a place where I had to choose my relationship or my purpose. And I kept on trying to figure out, well, if I'm walking and doing what God wants me to do, why do I keep losing every time I seem to wake up? I was losing everything that I felt like was so important to me, that I felt like my world revolved around. I was losing it. And in the end, after losing my grandfather in July and expecting the people who really should be with you not to be there for you. And so you're taking on additional losses as that time goes, financial losses, losses of people, losses of friends. You just lose so much. And I sat back like, what am I doing wrong? What am I not doing right? If I'm walking in the purpose that God set aside for me, why does loss seem to be the only thing that I gain from this purpose? I had to learn, and eventually I did, that I haven't lost anything. I haven't lost anyone. Everything that was taken from me or that came to light should not be a part of my journey was never a loss because they weren't supposed to be there. And that's hard because some things we want to be there. Some people we want to be there that are not supposed to be there. Some people we want to love and care for that that is not a part of our purpose, or God has something bigger in store for us. I accepted and wanted things so much smaller than what God really had in store for me, because I felt like, no, this is it. This is the one. This is where I'm supposed to be, or this job is it, or this person is it. And I lost those things or lost those people. And I had to realize that wasn't it. There's something bigger for me. So in the midst of trying to realize why I'm losing it or why I left or if that was it, I had to heal my inner child. I had to work on me because I tolerated and accepted things through that journey or relationship that I should never have. Because love doesn't look like what was being presented to me at that time. And friendship didn't look like what was being presented to me at that time. But I was still open and allowing those people to be a part of my life because I felt like that was it. This was it. Or this was as good as it gets. And I had to learn through the journey that isn't it. That wasn't what I had in store. That wasn't the end game God had for me. So I had to heal what in me accepted that from those people as a part of my process so that I know not to accept that anymore, that I deserve better. I see my worth, my worthiness. I want people to see me for who I am. So when you're going through this journey and you're losing and you feel like, well, dang, am I just not doing anything right? Right? Like, is everything I'm doing wrong? If I'm following God's purpose, why am I constantly losing those people, those things, those actions? At some point you realize that you've lost nothing. You've lost nothing. You've gained yourself. You've gained who you are. But you had to go through those steps to see who God is, to see what he's capable of, to see how he can really move in your life and in what you want to be, where he wants you to be. You have to go through certain losses or certain removing, because it's not losses. You have to remove certain things because they can't go with you. I remember one post I always share, Steve Harvey said, everybody that came with you can't go with you. Just because they were a part of getting you to this process or a part of getting you to here doesn't mean they continue on that journey with you. So sometimes you have to reevaluate those people or that purpose or that activity that you're doing because it no longer serves you and where you are moving forward to. And that is nothing close to easy. That is probably one of the hardest things I've ever had to do. So I continued on. I went through life pouring from my cup, pouring into other people, giving of myself constantly, giving and filling up other cups that did not pour back into my cup. So my cup was always left empty. And even then, still, I was like, let me figure out how to keep pouring, because that's where my heart is. Because my heart is here, and I want to see the best in people. But I couldn't, because as a part of the gifts that God has given to me, not just my intuition, but discernment. One of my most valuable gifts is the gift of discernment, and accepting that gift of discernment means that I used to listen to people and know that what they were saying was a lie. Know that I could be like, so this is what we're going to do today. You're going to tell me this today. And know that they were lying, but never call them on the lie. Just, taking it, putting it in my little handbag. Like, okay, I'm going to say that now. I see you. I know who you are. Because with the gift of discernment, you see people. You see who people are. You feel who people are before they even open their mouth. You know them. You are able to see them. And a lot of people run things past you, expecting you not to see the mask in which they wear. And then one day it hits them that you do see them. I've had people say, wow, okay, you know this person, calling them their self in third party. I didn't expect that, or it only took you moments, but that's because that's the gift that I've been given. That's the gift that God has instilled in me. So I'm learning to no longer hide those gifts, to push aside the fact that my discernment is the way that it is. And I walk in the purpose that God has set aside for me. And I don't listen to or tolerate people when they are lying anymore. I don't give that my energy, because why? It does nothing for me. It only satisfies them, and I am left empty in the end. So I want you to focus on not pouring all of you into places that are going to leave you empty. Find relationships that reciprocate what you are given. If you're pouring into someone, find somebody that's pouring back into you, because they don't want to see you empty when you're done. If you walk into a room with the same people, and every time you leave out that room, you're drained and exhausted, when you're finished dealing with these people, remove those people, because they're surviving off of your energy, but they're leaving you with nothing. Remove those people from your life. And I have walked in and removed people from my life, family, love, people I didn't want to remove. But I had to, because they drained everything from who I was. They took all my energy because they needed it, and I allowed it. So walking in purpose has showed me to not allow that, not give everything of myself to people who don't pour back into me. And I hope that you guys hearing it come from somewhere else will allow you to begin to not giving everything of you to people who don't give anything back to you. Because there's somebody, and there's people, and there's friends that are going to pour back into you, that are going to see your worth and see that value and pour back into who you are, because they don't want to see you empty. Love on those people who don't want to see you empty. Appreciate those people who don't want to see you empty. Appreciate those people who don't want you left out. And then those who do, accept them. That's the only thing I can tell you to do, is accept those people who do leave you left out, but treat them accordingly. You can't change them. You can't make them anything but who they are. You just have to treat them and your life accordingly. So I wanted to go through these different things and enlighten a little bit on who I am, especially before I go into how I search and different missing people. So I won't be up every day and do a live every day because that's exhausting too, because it takes away from who I am. I'm gonna stop. Um, but I do want to say that even if you're in a storm now, even if you're in a storm now, no one should know. No one should know. And they should know because every storm did not come to break you. Some storms come to make you. For a long time, I walked around down, feelings on my shoulder. You could tell what I was going through. But you shouldn't, because he's still God. And that is what I carry with me every day. But he's still God. When I'm going through it, when I'm down in the valley and everything is as bad as it can be, I remember, but he's still God. He's still God. And when I'm moving up and he's pulling me up the mountain, but he's still God. And that day I make it to the top, but he's still God because I love him along the way. I blessed along the way because my struggle could be so much worse. My emptiness could be complete empty. So I have to stop finding value in things of value and finding value in everything that I already have because I'm already blessed. I'm already blessed because I'm here in front of you. I'm here right now. My kids are good. My family's good. I'm a single mom of 2, and I'm making it in any way God sees fit for me to make it. But he makes it for me, and he's still God. So even when I'm down low and I'm sad and I don't even want to get out the bed, I turn on that gospel. I party all through here because he's still God. So when you see me and you're wondering, why is Kay still so happy even though she's going through hell, literally, why is she still happy? Or why are these weapons that are trying to take me out the game, they're sitting back wondering, how is she still okay? But God. So you're not fighting Kay. You're not fighting me when you step to me. Spiritual warfare is not just me or the things that people set up against me, the lies, the stories that are made up. You're not fighting me. I never entered that battlefield because God said that wasn't your battle. So I'm not fighting that, and I'm not fighting you. I leave that to him. And that's why I'm never pulled out of character or pulled into a situation that I shouldn't be into because it's not my war. It's not my battle. I leave that to God and I pray on it and I walk away from it. But it takes a lot to let go and let God, because I've been in control of everything my whole life. I am in control of my whole household. I'm in control of my finances and everything I do. That's what I thought. But humble is where I am now, and I realized I was never in control. That is the control he gave me, but I was never in control. I never controlled the situation. And nothing got better until I stopped looking at just myself being the person that makes the moves, that makes the changes, that makes it every day for me in my house. Because I'm not it. I don't make any of those things happen. I don't make any of it come to fruition. I don't do any of that. It's not me. It's always him. And being vulnerable is something that I was never able to do because I never felt like I was capable of being vulnerable, or that somebody was going to have me or lift me or catch my back when I fell. But I looked for that in a man or a friend. But God was always there. He never let me fall. Or if he let me fall, he picked me up before I hit the bottom. So in those fallings and in those failures were so many lessons and blessings. But I now know the difference between the two. And it's crazy that we have to allow ourselves to be so vulnerable and we have to surrender, because surrender was always something I seen as a negative, like we're throwing in the towel, we're giving up, we're defeated. But when it comes to surrendering to God, we're not defeated because He is not our opposition. He is not the op. He is working with us. He is not the enemy. So surrendering to Him gave me freedom. It gave me a different outlook on how I seen everything. So I'm just hoping that me telling you guys that part of the journey awaken something in you, or maybe you're feeling like you're in the battle and you're constantly losing and the storms are constantly coming and you're in the midst of a whirlwind and it's constantly blazing around you, the tornadoes twirling and twirling. But God, don't forget, okay? Stay true to who you are. Authentic. Be authentic to who you are, and there is nothing, no weapon, no person can take from you. Okay? And you guys enjoy the rest of your day. Get out and enjoy this weather. If it's not warm where you are, I'm sorry, but it's beautiful here. So if you are here, get out and enjoy that. Go enjoy the birds and nature. Do something for yourself. Self-love, self-care. And if people are open to joining me, like sister circles or something like that, please reach out, email, text, anything. Just respond, because I would love to have other people up here, because my journey is just my journey, but you have yours as well. And no two journeys will ever be the same. So that's why it's good to have multiple people up in here, how multiple people deal and have dealt with certain situations. Don't ever feel like you're wrong for being where you are in your journey because people judge. Your journey is not theirs. Let them. Let them is all I can say. Let them judge. Let them say whatever. Oh, well, she's listening to the gospel this day and she's out doing this day. This is your process. This is your journey. God meets you where you are, and He moves you however He's going to move you. That may not have been their journey, but judgment isn't anybody's journey. And I'm not here to judge, and I'm not here to be judged, because there's only one. So enjoy the rest of your day. Get out and do something special. And I look forward to hearing from people. Please respond, comment, say something, like and share. And I'll talk to you guys later.